Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunless Skies. In the last episode we made our way into Eleutheria and we are at the Brazen Brigade. We haven't actually found Pan yet, but I figured today's episode is going to be focusing on exploring around Pan. Let's see what factions exist here. So we'll start with the Brazen Brigade. This clot of sable groves is home to the devils of the Brazen Brigade. At its heart stands the adamant idol, whose arrhythmic piping determines the current hour in Pan. The Brazen Brigade are its interpreters. They promise they are utterly impartial. Let's go to the Temple of Almost Time. One ruin rises above the rest. Dismal in its desolation, it commands the grove. From its broken windows, the adamant idol can be seen, like the moon viewed from a tower. The commanders and knights of the Brazen Brigade reside within. Here, their solemnest rituals and their dearest venerations are performed. We only have one option here, apparently. We can spy on them. You are not welcome here. The curious dilettante knows of an alcove where the devils rarely think to look. Alright, let's have a look. The dilettante guides you away from the battered remnant of the temple and across an outcropping of broken stones to an even older temple. Looking down, you see you are walking across not stones, but graves, each carved with the name of a saint. Each of these died before the devils fled. Caduceus, the dilettante, tells you, as he pulls you to crouch below a broken rose window. You have an inviolable view of the temple opposite. Within, the Brazen Brigade are preparing a feast, a table laden with souls and spices, mock thrones for every chair. At each table setting is placed a reliquary, a finger, a faceted eye, a variegated limb. The devils recreate a heavenly court with their saints seated as masters. Ooh, how spooky. We got a vision of heavens for that. But in order to do more here, we need to become known to the brigade, I guess. Anything else we can do here? We can go to the Grove of Far Too Late. Here, the Brazen Brigade venerate the saints of hell. This man does not look very hellish. Reliquaries speckle the ground like gemstones on a cardinal vestment. A hill rises from the grove. Halfway up it, a broken temple rests below soaring arches. Behind the hill, from the center of Pan, the adamant idol is clearly visible. Long shadows move below the arches, swaying to the arrhythmic wail of the pipes. Let's enter the grove. Walk in the fiefdom of the Brazen Brigade, the devils that aspire to seize heaven's thrones. Thou hast taken and shalt not render again. The carved faces of saints peer down at you from arches and columns. Some have expressions of serenity, their many mouths gently smiling. Other, more ecstatic saints are contorted in sanctified rapture. A curious dilettante waves you to join him by a sunken arch. You're just in time. Then about... He's cut off by the sound of horns. A troop of devils thunder past. A single devil in a suit is their quarry. They pursue him to the boundary of the grove, where he disappears in the mists. They hate the Republicans of their kin, the dilettante whispers. They will not suffer equality here. We can exchange mysteries with the curious dilettante. An artist, tolerated by the brigade for his sympathies with their splendor, He likes to be of help to newcomers to the brigade. He's interested in sharing stories of Eleutheria. Okay, or we could join the brigade. Could there be a place for you here, amongst the ranks of these renegade devils pining for all their slaughtered saints? The Order of the Piper welcomes mortal souls. This will begin your initiation into the Brazen Brigade. You will not be able to ally with any other faction of Pan afterwards. We should probably find all the other factions before we make that kind of choice. I can speak to the curious dilettante. What can he tell you about himself? Does he know more about the Brazen Brigade? He looks up from his sketchbook. I wish to witness suffering. Not out of sadism, you understand. But my station in life has always been privileged. My art, myself, lacks something for it. Wishing to learn more of injustice, of doomed causes, I came here. The brigade have been very accommodating. I think they appreciate the interest. As for the brigade, they are unique among devils I've known. Their saints are the grand devils who once served in the heavens, but rebelled and were cast down or imprisoned or fled. The stories are inconsistent on the point. Okay. Well, I can't get a blessing of the violinist. The curious dilettante speaks of a ritual in an old vault, a rite, the one the brigade call the Wailing Saint. This saint is the violinist, a royal saint of the old aristocracy. So we can trade crew, a cryptic benefactor, glass and mysteries for a royal dispensation. That's quite an expensive trade, but if we need a royal dispensation, that's something I should probably remember that exists. But I do believe that's all we can do here right now. Anything in the shops? No. Right, let's see what else we can find. Ideally, Pan. I'm guessing this is Pan, actually. I was thinking Pan might be this way. But no, I do believe it may be down. Down this way here. Should we actually go to Pan proper? I think there's 3 factions and Pan proper. So I would like to look at all of them, ideally, in this episode. That would be kind of nice. The Factions of Pan makes a nice title for an episode. Here is Pan itself. Let's go here first. As exuberant as an old pirate den of the Caribbean, Pan's station teems with thieves and merchants, smugglers and evangelicals of inventive new cults. In a grove nearby is the seat of the Cypress King, who has little power. Well, we can visit the king, or we can go to the station. Let's go to the king. Let's visit the Cypress King. Pan has no ruler, but it does have a king. The position is not a powerful one, nor secure. The only real authority is to rule on any disagreements that can't be settled at the forum. During the Hour of Thorns, anyone can challenge the king and, if successful, take the crown. In a burgundy grove, shagged with vines and moss, the current Cypress King resides. A smiling devil, dark-skinned, lounging languidly amidst the roots. He twirls the thorny crown in his fingers. A number of admirers pay him court, hanging on his diabolical wisdoms, so he can consider bringing port reports to the king. Storytelling is forbidden in Pan. One of the duties of the Cypress King is to trade mysteries for Skyfarers' stories of other places before they can be inflicted on the city at large. Though the dockside businesses use sovereigns for convenience, for most other purposes, mysteries are far more valuable currency in Pan. It is a city of secrets and initiations. So the Cyprus King will trade Eleutherian mysteries for port reports. You can trade these for various functions in Pan. Interesting. Let's ask the king how to leave. The relay station by which you entered the region was broken. How then might you leave? You are informed that the Eagles Empyrean, London's nominal allies in opening the path to the sky, maintain a transit gate that leads back to the Reach. The Empyrean lies somewhere in Eleutheria, beyond the Belt of Midnight. Lovely place, the Belt of Midnight. Oh dear. We can't exchange knowledge for a searing enigma. Nice to know the trade exists. I'm sure I'll forget, but who knows. Let's go to King's Idle Station. Here is Pan, the dusky heart of Eleutheria. Built upon the sundered remains of a cathedral of the heavens, now overgrown with midnight groves. It is a refuge for rebels, outcasts and pariahs, for the unloved, the unmourned, and the unbelievable. Several factions have claimed fragments of the ruins, but the central dock is neutral ground. It heaves with crowds, and the air is filled with cries and music and raving and laughter. We can repair my locomotive. Engineers can be found among the dockside throngs, but be warned, there are few of variable skill, and even more variable diligence. Oh god. It's going to cost me one Eleutherian mystery to repair my hull to half. Or I can recruit crew if I need them. Right, so there isn't actually much I can do here, so let's have a look in the bazaar. Ah, propaganda on the parade. Literature to the Empyrean. A cloaked figure from the ministry patrols the market, looking for skyfarers. Would you be interested in some patriotic work? He asks. The Khan is poisoning the minds of Eagle Empyrean with spiteful stories about life in Albion. Worse, most of them are true. We plan to balance the books with some ministry-approved literature. Shall we say 5 good volumes? Eagle Empyrean lies to the south of Pan. Do I have that? I kinda do. Let's grab that. So we know that Eagle Empyrean's to the south, which is nice, which means we can find the exit out of here if we need to, if we get in a panic. Lord Langley's new library. Bronzewood for Langley Hall. His absent lordship's servants have put out an urgent request for high-quality building materials. The old library was mere mahogany and gold. His lordship is no pauper. 3 consignments of bronzewood should suffice. Langley Hall lies to the east-southeast of Pan. Do I have 3 pieces? I do. Won't fit in my... Oh, no, never mind. I already had 2 in my box. Oh, whoops. Do that. Alright. Let's make sure I actually grab it as well. Let's not make that mistake. That's 2 places we can go and try and find. The night market. Fuel and supplies, nice. Dandelion engineering? These are some nice stuff in here, huh? The Goliganuza. Oh, requires iron 65. Fail 65. Oh no, I haven't got the skills for any of it. Ugh. I can't even use the engine. Oh, what kind of engines do they sell here? There's the gold engine. Moloch class liner. Ah, the Agravian class Juggernaut. I feel like that's what I used for most of my playthrough last time. Ooh, the Medea class Destroyer. Less cargo, more crew, 2 large gun slots. Ooh, forceful, terrible, unbreakable. Manufactured only in Pan and designed to withstand the rigours of Eleutheria's perpetual night. I am I am very intrigued by this one. 16,000. So it costs the same as the gold engine. It just has more shielding slots. Two large guns. Same sort of health and stuff. I mean, I'm not even close to the money here, so I suppose I won't be too close to getting this. Okay, shall we see if there's anyone else close by to Pan, or is there something else in Pan I could look at? The bank. At least I have access to the bank. That's quite nice. Let's skirt around the outside of Pan. There should be some more faction housing. I am half tempted to send out the bat. Ah, yes. I've been informed that the half moon is just something that happens in Eleutheria. Why is there a goddamn scribe spinster in the middle of Pan? Good lord. Winters reside. Whoops, that was the wrong button. A single street cuts through the groves. It houses an immaculate copy of London architecture. 3 of the revolutionaries governing the Calendar Council have often been seen here. February, January, and the ineffable December. The Corn Cake House. A Georgian house is 3 stories high. The Georgian house is 3 stories high, with silhouettes at every window. Some pace, others gesticulate, others have their heads close, perhaps conspiring. The building is rammed to the gunwales with revolutionaries. Light pours from the open front door. The doorwoman is slight and no real obstacle, but a continuous trickle of revolutionaries passes her. Some burlier than your strongest stoker. If she wanted to refuse entry, she'd be able to enforce it. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, I can't do anything here because I'm not close enough to the revolutionaries, so let's have a look at the solitary cobbled street. The street nestles amidst the ruins and trees of Pan. One end abutting an overgrown grove. Revolutionaries with secateurs wage continual war, rebuffing vines attempting to claim the cobbles. The Georgian houses are well kept and cleaner than they ever were in London, but only one is lit up. It is the focus of the activity here. Outside it, revolutionaries trade, compare wounds, and practice tirades. Their home here often offers them solace and restoration before the next battle. Right, so we can mingle with the revolutionaries. This could gain you a savage secret, or a sky story, or a tale of terror. I could share what I've learned of Eleutheria. The xenophilic youth has requested that visiting captains bring him news of Eleutheria. We can negotiate for a captivating treasure. Xenophilic youth will act as an intermediary. The revolutionaries will trade with him, and so by extension, you. This will cost a point of hearts and iron, along with other things. Were you initiated into Winter's Reside, the price would be less painful. Yeah, let's not do that. We can offer to join the revolutionaries. If I had one more mystery, ooh, I am kind of interested in joining the revolutionaries. I don't think I've ever joined the revolutionaries before. But you are steeped in the mysteries of Eleutheria. Your knowledge is invaluable. Do them a service and they will believe your ambitions align. Yeah, we are. If we just had one more mystery we could, but we cannot. So that's another thing we can't really do yet. No shop. Alright. I suppose, yeah, and there's another one. Let's see if we can sneak past this Scribe Spinster and get to the final faction of Pan. No, we're not going to sneak past the Scribe Spinster, are we? back here, you. Ow. Made a mistake. There we go. No one's so bad. Good lord. Let's send out the men with axes. Let's get some bronze wood if we can. Alright. We found something, but I don't know what it was. I was too busy trying not to die. Guessing it was the final grove over here. If I remember correctly, this is the one that I remember, which is the one I think I sided with last time, which was the bushes that speak. I think it intrigued me the most. Something like that. I don't know. Let's go find out. Yeah, the Heartcatcher Gardens. This is what I'm remembering. A grizzled coterie of gardeners care for this unusual orchard. The plants that grow here are heartcatchers, whose fruit looks and speaks like human heads. Yeah, perfectly normal, huh? Let's go to the Mimicron. The inner gardens are surrounded by a hedge as thick as a fortress wall, knotted with thorns and strangled with vines. Behind it are the grove homes of the Heartcatchers, steeped in Eleutheria's midnight and frequented only by their favoured servants. Within the Mimicron, the Heartcatchers are big as trees and clustered with mature heads. Each plant is a council of intellects debating the secrets of the sky. Am I allowed in? An arch in the hedge leads inside. A dozen heads, grey-haired and bitter, peer from among the leaves. "Begone!" the heads insist. "You have not been chosen, you have not been served." As far as you can tell, the whole hedge is the body of one vast, brambly Heartcatcher. As you turn to leave, one of its heads whispers something, and the others snigger. When you ask what was amusing, a hawk-nosed head apologizes. "Sorry, we just never get used to how much your heads look like fruit." Wow. Let's go to the nurseries. A series of finely manicured indigo lawns cover this corner of Pan. Peculiar plants grown in the beds, tangled as rose bushes and budding with fruit. The fruit is lumpen. Perfectly formed facial features are growing on it. This one has a frantic, staring eye. This one is growing an ear. This one keens pitiability through tiny, trembling lips. Silent gardeners, whose broad-brimmed hats are hung with veils to hide their faces, tend devotedly to the plants. Well, let's speak to the green-fingered old warhorse. He removes his hat. The face beneath is scarred and bleak, a soldier's face. He must occupy a senior position, for the other gardeners nod their heads as they pass him. Beneath his overalls he wears a rat-skin suit, ragged from the plant's playful thorns. There's a deadness to his gaze. Well, let's ask him about the petitioners. A number of desperate-looking people are lined at the hedgerow gate to the inner gardens. "The Heartcatchers know many secrets," he says. "Among them is a method to capture a death and seal it away so that it can't trouble you. If you fear a particular end, like drowning, say, or freezing, the Heartcatchers could hide it away. He takes a cage of squirming mice from his pocket, fishes one out and drops it into the thorny vines of the closest plant. The vines constrict. The mouse squeaks. The plant shivers. No guarantee of immortality, of course. 1,000 deaths await in the skies. Let's ask him about himself. Judging from his military bearing, he was not always a gardener. No, I was once a soldier, and a commander of soldiers. I was good at it, as such things are measured. Now I keep the gardens, tend to the heart catchers, and pray that I have no further effect on the world at all. Another gardener passes you, carrying a bucket. Kneeling by a bed full of budding heart catchers, they tip the bucket over. The contents ooze readily onto the soil. Let's ask about the heart catchers, learn about these peculiar plants. They are a species native to the heavens, he observes. Here in the nurseries, we help the younger specimens grow to maturity before transferring them to the inner gardens. The Mimoricon. He indicates some colleagues who are digging up the largest plant in the garden and wrestling it onto a cart while it tries, affectionately, to throttle them. You note its fruit, which are now big enough to resemble the faces of warbling cherubs. Once fully grown, the warhorse continues, their fruit can reason and speak and debate more effectively than we, even. Each plant is an entire council or faculty. I can ask about entering the inner garden. A hedge encloses it. An archway permits entrance, but is protected by a mature heartcatcher whose cynical faces peer from the thicket. They excoordinate intruders with insightful critique. Only friends of the heartcatchers may enter the Mimoricon, and successful petitioners, of course, but the latter are blindfolded. Perhaps if you performed a service for the heartcatchers, they would warm to you. Well, bid him goodbye. He dons his veiled hat and returns to his labours. Okay, so I guess in order to do these, we'd have to prove our value, but we'd need another Eleutherian mystery. We need 4 Eleutherian mysteries for the heartcatchers? Good lord. Okay, well, we've met all the factions. Obviously, the revolutionaries are kind of calling to me right now, but I think this is where I'm going to end this episode. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members and the coffee supporters. It really does mean the world to me and help keep the channel going. And as always, I'll see you next time.